I asked a few of you guys on my Instagram if you wanted to see this video, and most of you said yes, so here we are. For today's video, I'm kind of going to show you how you can go from this to this. It took me a while to actually film this video because I was waiting on a delivery which got here a couple days ago. And here it is. This is like some visual representation of what happened that you can kind of see. And I also just wanted to show the full circle moment, how these things can actually happen, how you can make photo shoots in your house in very DIY settings, with very basic conditions, I guess you can say, and still make it work for your career, professionally, and you can still produce some beautiful images regardless of the limitations that you might have in your career right now. Basically, I just want to show you how little you actually need to make a photo shoot work. Because when I started shooting, a proper photo shoot always felt so far-fetched, so out of reach, because I never really had anything. Like, I didn't have a studio to begin with. I didn't even have a proper camera. And it all seemed so out of reach and so daunting. And with this video, I just kind of want to show you that it doesn't have to be like that. As long as you are creative about it and you know how to problem solve, you can make what you have work for you. So for this video, I'm gonna take you through the shoot that I did of Cate Le Bon for She Shreds magazine. And I didn't get a lot of behind the scenes footage of the actual shoot happening. Not everybody's comfortable with being on camera. That's totally fine. I get it. I'm not comfortable being on camera. Like, I'm suffering right now, but I just want to get through this, and I don't know, I just want to make this video. So here we are. But I did get footage of me setting up my space, and so you can kind of see how I took this very unlikely photo shoot scenario, or like set into a workable condition. She Shreds magazine, I actually hadn't heard of them before they got in touch with me, but I'm in love with them now. They're so cool. So this is the issue that the photo shoot is in. But basically, She Shreds is, I believe it's an American magazine for female guitarists and bassists, I believe. So I think all of the artists featured in it are usually women, and they're guitar players and bassists. So it's pretty nice because it's like one of the few sort of non-judgmental places for girls or women or anyone really to learn more about the instrument and stuff like that. And they give a great platform for women in music, because sometimes that can be a little bit overlooked. Because I can remember growing up when I used to go to like magazine stores and stuff, most of the guitar magazines usually featured men. I mean, I'm not sure, but so this one chooses to focus on women, and that's pretty nice to see. Anyway, sorry this video is all over the place. I find it hard to concentrate when I'm talking to the camera for some reason. I just feel like there's like people, it's like I'm talking to a stage full of people, and there's obviously like literally no one here, and like not many people watching anyway. But yeah, so as I was saying, the mood board that was sent to me was pretty straightforward. They wanted me to get a few shots of Cate with her instrument because she was going to talk about it, then just some like normal portraits, and then also maybe an exterior shot, so that we had two different locations. And I'm going to show you some of those final photos. So yeah, so since it was going to be sort of a smaller shoot, it wasn't very viable for me to book a studio for it, so we decided to do it at my house, in my corridor to be more specific, where there's a bookshelf and loads of clutter, but it's kind of the only space I have. So before they got here, I was just trying to set that up. I think I have some footage of that, and I'm gonna include that here so you can see it. So I was just basically moving all the junk and furniture around so that I could have a bit more of like a smoother surface, like a solid straight surface that I could then put the backdrop against, and it wouldn't have a lot of weird shapes on it. It would be kind of like a smooth backdrop, so, or as smooth as it can be. So I got on and started doing that. I was moving everything out of the way, and then I got my DIY black backdrop. That's basically just a long piece of black fabric that I taped to the wall. I'm very professional, but it works. It works. So it just doesn't look very good, but you know what? It doesn't have to look good, because what matters is where you're pointing your camera to and not everything that's around it. It just matters where you're focusing on. So as long as you have like a solid space where with the right angle and everything you can get a clear background, it doesn't matter where it is, it doesn't matter how DIY it looks. So yeah, so then I taped the fabric to the bookshelf and wall, and we were ready to go. And they got here and we started doing hair and makeup here in my room at this beautiful beauty desk. My friend Jenny did it. She's amazing. I'm gonna leave her Instagram down below. It's funny because I didn't know it was gonna be her till the day of the shoot, really, or the day before, when we were all like in an email chain planning things, what time people were gonna get here, and then we noticed that we knew each other. So she got here, she set up everything on the table, all the makeup and stuff, and then when Kate got here, she got ready. Jenny even like gave her a bit of a haircut, and then we headed to the living room and we started to shoot. Yeah, that went pretty smoothly for the most part. I think we were done within an hour or something. We got some shots against the black backdrop, and then we kind of went around the flat. We got some shots in the living room with the mirrors we have. Some on the little table we have. Kitchen floor. Those are fun. Actually, I think that might be the one on the kitchen floor might be one of my favorites, and I'm thinking of I'm considering trying to include it in my collectible print project. But anyway, and then Kate was gonna perform on that very same day at Rough Trade, so we sort of started heading to Rough Trade, and we stopped on the way to go get some exterior shots, and yeah, and then she played, and it was really nice to see her perform, especially like after doing the shoot on the very same day. It's like, it's nice to just come like full circle and see that happening again. Because I wasn't able to get a lot of behind the scenes footage, I feel like it might be a little bit hard to picture like the day and how I'm explaining things, but regardless, I hope that it's still somewhat interesting or helpful. Basically, my goal with this video is just to sort of take away that pressure that sometimes we have of having to wait for the right moment, for the perfect opportunity, for the perfect conditions to go forward with your art or what you want to do. And in reality, if you really want to make it work, you can, and you just have to be creative and work with what you have and not be intimidated by the way things might seem to be, because in reality the essence that you need to make it work is there. You just have to look past those barriers that are not actually barriers, they just look like barriers. And yeah, how inspiring. So this is what the magazine looks like. This is issue 18, and I'm gonna take you to the feature, and here we are. It's funny to think that this was shot against that bookshelf, but it was. And this one too. And then this one as well. I really like how they came out. And of course, use the credit. Always ask for people to credit your work. It's very important. Don't forget to ask them to do that. If I can make it work, you can make it work. Hi everyone. I think it's a bit noisy here, but I couldn't really find a better place to film that wasn't crowded full of people. So I'm just sitting by this, I don't know what this is. Is this a church? I don't know. Oh. I just came out to go collect another batch of the prints, and I also thought that I would go into one of the stockists or like retailers for She Shreds magazine, because I don't know, I think it would be such a nice feeling to just see it like physically at a shop, like see the magazine and knowing that your picture's there. It's just such a special feeling, and it's a new feeling for me. And I always sort of dreamt about it. I know this is not a big deal, but I don't know, for me it is a little bit. So I'm gonna go into Rough Trade and see if they have any copies left. If they do, I might grab an extra copy as well. So that's where we went after the shoot, because she was playing on that day. So it's all come full circle, hasn't it? So I'm gonna go and do that now. For me, it's been a very special experience because I've always loved like photo magazines or music magazines when growing up, and it's just so nice to have the opportunity to be in one and to have a physical copy of it. And yeah, in the grand scheme of things, I know it's not a big deal, but for me, it feels like a small accomplishment, a small baby step into the right direction, and it motivates me to keep going. And I hope that all of you are also able to accomplish some small baby steps towards your goal. And if I can help in any way, always just get in touch with me or let me know what you would like to see next sort of video, or if you have any questions, because we're all in this together. We're just it's not an easy job to have, an easy career. It's a lovely community, but it's also quite competitive, and I feel like sometimes people don't like to help each other. I mean, some do. I've met some amazing people in the industry, but I don't know. Anyway, so I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think. What do you like to see next? And thank you so much for watching, and I see you in my next video. Okay, bye-bye.